Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. West side, raise it up. 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 North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. The west side, raise it up. 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 Raise it up.
3, 2.
Hey loves. My name is Wyann Vaughn. I also go by Y. And this is another incredible episode of Raise It Up, Y, the podcast. We are coming at you on the final Thursday, May 2025, in an episode we are calling Focus on Focus. Period. That'll make sense in a few minutes because I had a guest in here. Let me tell you guys, break the fourth wall. I got a guest on today's episode. He is my brother. He is the reason I work with Dr. Dre in the capacity that I do. He is a man who was my last guest speaker in my USC hip hop music and culture class. And he's just everything. You know what I mean? Like a fan favorite in love culture, for Love Tuesdays, Love Lounges. If any of you are new here and don't know what those things are, I'll explain that in just a second. But the idea is, if you have been following this podcast for a little while, you know that we generally only have real mofos on here with us. And I think I'm just riding off the high of what we just did. So like now you guys are getting the beginning of this episode, but it's like 45 minutes baked into like, let's go. Let me hurry up so y'all can just see what I just did. So once again, I'm Wyann Vaughn. I'm thankful that you all are in my space. Let me go ahead and introduce this podcast. Raise It Up Y is where OGs, original guides, kick game to real ones only. Real ones are the students of this space. OGs are the educators of this space. And I'm gonna let you know just like this. When we say raise it up, what are we raising? We are raising your self-awareness, your vibration, and your capacity for love, which is knowledge. We do that using non-corny positivity from the West Coast to the world in the hip hop culture. Listen, y'all, I'm glowing. I'm glowing because I know what you guys are going to be knowing. Okay. And let me start this episode because every episode starts with grounding. I am a therapeutic edutainer, non-traditionally practicing trained therapist. And when we ground ourselves, we separate the space from wherever type of time we were on before we clicked this link, opened this piece of content, however you look at it, got into this show, whatever you look at this as, wherever you were before here, we're separating space right now. And we're digging our hands, knees, toes all into the space of presence. All right. And I do it in a poem. It goes like this. Take a moment. Be here with me. Hear my voice. Feel your feet. And just to make sure you're there, wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness up through your body and touch your nose. And you're just doing that, all those silly gestures, just to recognize that you are here with me. Breathe a breath in. Blow a breath out. Do it again. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Take a moment. Own this. This is a miracle we call life. That you are breathing, you are winning just because you are living this life. Just by spending this time with my voice right now, you're investing in your betterment. And I want you to sit with that and feel proud. Let's go up. We're getting straight into a Raise 'em Up, which is the segment of the podcast where I get to edutain. And after this, we will cut into the 45 minutes of what just happened and get to a get raised. And the get raised is the portion of the podcast where we invite other original guides, OGs. When I say guides, just so you know, we're looking at this listening thing, GUIDES, guides is what we're saying when we say OGs. We're looking at having those original guides come to our space and raise everyone up, me included. All right. So let's get into a raise them up. Last episode, you all really enjoyed when I differentiated a few things for you. And I talk about that even when I'm with our guest. His name is Focus. And this episode, I remember that Love Culture asked for me to do that with another conversation, another piece as well. And what that was sympathy, empathy, and compassion. And sympathy, empathy, and compassion are all words, if you would let me tell it, that come up in this space. Whenever you're talking about, intimate relationships, and you're talking about folks learning how to get up and well with one another, you hear these three terms. Sometimes you hear these terms interchangeably spoken about. And I feel like they need to be spoken about differently. And not just differently in like a good or a bad way, but it's just something for us to study. In the year of 2022, we were really big on looking at raising your vibration for love. And in Love Culture, which is the group of people that support this podcast, we like to fine tune what we're doing. We don't like to just, I'm just feeling this, I'm just saying this, I'm just thinking this. We're very intentional about words we use, what we say, how we do what we do. And as a result, I think it's important for us to recognize when we are talking about words that mean things, but using them slightly, not necessarily incorrectly. I just want to say maybe with a different intent than we mean. Let's say it like that. Sometimes we're using words and choosing words that don't completely satisfy what we're seeking to say. And so we did that last episode with honesty, transparency, and vulnerability, episode 82. So in episode 83 today, we are doing that with sympathy, empathy, and compassion. So let's just give some definitions real quick. Sympathy is the feeling of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. Empathy is the ability to understand and share feelings of another. Compassion, I saw the definition that Google spit out for me, and I don't love it. It's from the Oxford, but I feel like it doesn't capture exactly what I'm seeking for it to say. Let me just say what it says. Compassion is sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. That doesn't feel exactly like the word I want. Or rather, it doesn't feel like the definition I would like. Another resource says that compassion literally means to suffer together. To suffer together. And what I want to also bring to the fold is the difference between maybe compassion and empathy. Empathy involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, while compassion goes further by promoting a desire to alleviate someone's suffering. One of the biggest things I want to make sure I edutain about in this Raise 'em Up section is the fact that when we're seeking to, as a community, as a culture, get closer to one another, when we're seeking to wrap arms around one another and be present with someone, empathy and compassion are what we're discussing. Dr. Brene Brown, an LCSW, a doctor of social work from Texas, one of the most watched TED Talks in the world, has specials and podcasts and stuff. Dr. Brene Brown, she would say it like this. I know that there's a big movement in the positive psychology space to, push for compassion. And I guess I would be one of those people. But at the same time, we can't neglect the importance of empathy, that ability to understand and share feelings of another. And it's a cornerstone of social work. She has a higher version of the degree I have. I have an MSW. She has a doctorate of social work. But what I want it to be known is that when you're dealing in empathy and compassion, you're drawing another person's experience in as your own. You're drawing near to someone. Sympathy is a feeling of pity for another's misfortune that, whether you realize it or not, at the feeling of sympathy, you are putting distance between you and someone else's situation. When you are feeling sympathetic for someone or something, visually, you are taking your arm, extending it out wide with a palm forward and away from yourself, repelling another person, their experience, their perspective, their point of view, their heritage, their culture, anything that makes them them. And I'm keen about this because when we, as a culture, love culture, hip hop culture, when we start looking to have conversations about other people and their situations, I just want us to be very intentional with what we say. Sometimes you have pity for someone and you literally pity their situation. Example, some people pity Drake after losing 2024's battle with Kendrick Lamar to the extent that he lost it. People look at him and it's like, oh, I wouldn't want to be you. Couldn't be me, wouldn't be me. Oh man, don't know how to leave good enough alone. Some people show sympathy for Drake. Empathy would be like, there's a book called To Kill a Mockingbird, and there's one of my favorite fictitious characters in all of fiction history named Atticus Finch. It's the dad of the protagonist named Scout in that book. I just remembered all this. I don't know why all of these names came back to me that well, but here it is. Atticus Finch talked about not just living life in the racist South, which is where the book was talking about, not just living life like putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Atticus Finch was talking about empathy, saying you don't really understand a person until you put yourself in another person's skin. And, a black man and a white man in the South in the 1950s could take off shoes and wear the same shoe size and have very little difference of an experience. You would still not understand what it's like to be that other man. Different from if a white man zipped up a black man's skin and tried to walk around the 1950s, very segregated, very racist South, and tried to have an honorable life experience, a human experience, and think that you would not be affected. You would. So empathy is like hopping into someone else's skin, like Atticus Finch talks about. Compassion, therefore, is in the way that I think the positive psychology movement and others talk about. Compassion is drawing even nearer with the concept of empathy. And you're not just sitting and being present with another person, but you actually are in the vein of, in the vibration of desiring to even alleviate some of a person's suffering. You're there with them in a way that says, no, I'm not just hopping in your skin. I'm in your skin with you and desiring to see a world that accepts you better and differently than it does now. It's not just I'm present with you. Everything that's disparity stricken between me as a black man and you as a white man, let's just say, I want to address those things. So having compassion for a person is technically the most near drawing way to possess a sense of empathy, but also with the idea of, I want to see something happen for your situation. I'm invested in the solution to whatever is making a problem for you. That's where compassion starts to come. Again, this is language, guys. This is not math. So all of this is debatable. All of this is up for scrutiny and, the Oxford versus the, fucking Google or worddictionary.com or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes language can get painted by whoever is attempting to define it. So you look up a word on urbandictionary.com and you can find a very different set of defining phrases for something than the Oxford or, Google and things. But I just wanted to fine tune that level of conversation. One, because I said I would do it months ago. So here we are. Ta-da. And then two, because when we are seeking to understand and be in community and relationship with someone, I need you to know, if you're putting distance between you and another person, the two things you are not showing are empathy and compassion. I don't care how much you say you love someone. I don't care how many times that phrase, those words come out of your mouth. I don't care how long you've had history with a person. If you put distance, hierarchical, especially like I'm up here, you're down there, or if you're a person who sees yourself with less worth and I can never be on that person's level, they're up there, I'm down here, any of those aren't going to serve you. And that's going to be closer to having a sympathetic situation with someone and really investing in the pity or misfortune of a situation rather than seeking to be present with someone, empathy, or seeking to be present with someone and even invest yourself in ways to alleviate someone's suffering, which would be compassion. And that's the Raise 'em Up for today. We're going to cut. And when I snap my fingers, you guys are going to see me here with my brother Focus, 3 dots of Aftermath. That was loud. Man. That was louder than I intended.
We're here.
Wow.
We're here.
Okay.
Oh,
and
yeah,
if you are listening, already are under the influence of our guest today's voice on Get Raised segment of this podcast. We haven't done a Get Raised since August 2023 for hip hop's 50th birthday, which was also Ali Shaheed's birthday.
That's dope.
So if you are under the sound of our voices only and listening to this podcast solamente with your ears, much love to you. If you are watching on YouTube or wherever this podcast can be consumed in that way, then visually you get to see my brother and one of my greatest friends ever, Mr. Focus. ... Sound without focus is just noise.
Hey, she hit them all.
Hey, yes, I did.
Here we go.
And we have in studio. No, that's me doing the content.
Yeah. Right.
So there's a few reasons why you're seeing this gentleman today. One, the episode is called Focus on Focus. He did not know that the episode was named after him until
I sure didn't.
I mean, literally seconds ago, actually. We just showed him that the episode was titled after him. And then also, one of the reasons you're seeing Focus is he was my last guest speaker at my USC class.
That was amazing too.
Oh my goodness. That really is something that I wanted to try to I mean, it's a moment. I don't want to try to recreate that moment right here, right now, but it was how good that felt. Yeah. And how much my students were talking about it, even though they're a quieter, this semester was a quieter bunch, but I got to hear how much they enjoyed you after you left because they're just so much more introverted.
Because this is how they enjoyed me when I was there. Are you guys happy? Are you guys sad? Anybody angry? Yeah, that was the enjoyment.
It was quiet.
It was right from left to right. I was looking at faces and they went like this. I said something and somebody went. That was it. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I cut through.
No,
I did it.
You know what? You can maybe tell me about, this is not even a part of what we were going to end up talking about on today's Get Raised. Get Raised is a segment of this podcast where we invite other OGs or original guides and teachers of the Raise It Up Y space into our podcast in order to edutain, educate, provide wisdom to our real ones who are the students and the listeners of our podcast here. So love culture at large. And if you don't know you're a love, then, you know, stick around long enough, you'll become a love in love culture's community. But I wanted focus here because a lot of my adult career in this industry took a different level at our relationship. I think most of my relationships in the music industry can be traced back to my mom and dad, of course,
right,
or Terrace,
right,
Terrace
right.
Martin.
Right.
And in 2013, we were on Terrace Martin's album 3 Chord Fold. 1 year later, in 2014, I don't know if you had just moved back from Atlanta or you were just here visiting.
No, I moved back in 2013, and I made the permanent move in 2014. In 2014,
right? It was 2014, maybe in the beginning of the fourth quarter of the year, and when I saw on I want to say social media somewhere that you were like, I'm in town, I'm in LA and everything, I immediately hit you and said, I need to see you. I love, like, my poem on your song on 3 Chord Fold had taken me to a different, like, it had legs and it went a whole other place because it was the sassy one. Yeah. She was the renter.
Right.
And so a lot of people were stimulated by that, either because they was like, you ain't that bad, you ain't this and that, you know, like, just, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I love anything that gets a reaction out of people, because even your haters then help you boost your.
There it is. Infamy.
There you go. There
Infamy.
you go.
Yeah.
So I got that from the guys, and from the girls, they was like, you better tell him, you better tell that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it was, I was just like, I haven't seen folks since we worked on that album. And I tell people I went to Dre's studio, Aftermath Studios headquarters. I don't know if they all know. Record One. I went there to give Focus a hug. I left there as the voice of reason, basically.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, one, ask you, how would you describe that time, 2014, right after 3 Chord Fold, moving back to LA? Where was Focus? How was Focus at that time?
That's a great question. Yeah. I was trusting in everything that was above me. God, spirituality, faith, hope, dreams, everything. Like I really was kind of moving forward in all of that, because at the time I was married, and I had we have 3 kids together. So I really just made the move back so that I was earning what needed to be earned for the family, and so I can take care of the family. So coming back and I've been in and out of the Aftermath family for some time between 2008 and 2013, and for Dre to actually invite me back and say, there's a place for you if you want it. It's the most humbling and honoring experience. You know what I'm saying? So there was no way I wasn't going to come back. He's my mentor, and that's my big bro. And now mine. As a result of the extension of your just being a good human. I think one of the other reasons we're sitting down together is because you invited me after you came to my classroom and spoke to those
vibrant USC students. No, it's a joke.
Do you see the vibranocity on my face?
I hope you guys watch this episode.
I hope all of you do, because I am smiling with you. So. I'm so happy to see you.
It was so tough in that class. I was like, this is my guest. Like, please. Like, anyways. But after the animated class, it's a joke, but the animated class, Focus invited me to help him do a piece of content online. That song is not out, right?
That song is out. It's part of the group that I put together with Denon Porter and Dem Joints.
Yes,
we're called Read the PDF. And this album has been out, so I'm really just repurposing with content.
And I'm so silly. I'm telling people that the doggone song wasn't out yet.
No, the song is out. But the thing about it is that video. Well, I'll wait till you ask me a question, because there's
no, please, no. Okay. So the point was, outside of him coming to my class, I went to record a piece of content for this beautiful song, and the song is called "How Does It Feel?" Right?
No, the song is called NC, which stands for No Cap. So that's why I couldn't lie. Oh, it's a very there's so many things.
I forget my questions. I need you to talk about. Can you talk about why you did the content, why you shot it the way you shot it, the importance of no cap and not being able to lie and having to tell the truth? I want to hear it from you.
We are unfortunately being pushed by agenda through culture and various industry moguls and higher ups. Everybody is trying to push what it is to look human instead of being human, and nobody is everybody's afraid to be vulnerable. Everybody's afraid to be transparent. And the song No Cap, if you listen to the song, Denon Porter, he goes right before me, and he did a very transparent verse, and I kind of just picked up where he left off, and I brought it more personal for me. Dem Joints was more of a spokesman for the times, and we really don't want to just make the same kind of music and just spit the same rhetoric. So it's a message-driven record for people that are not afraid to show their heart. So in this, the reason why I did the content, and I'll tell you this real quick, the video was supposed to be, I was supposed to be in therapy. So my beat is supposed to be my therapist. My therapist is asking me, how do I feel? And each time that it said it, I was going to have a different beautiful woman as my therapist. And there was a way that I was going to frame it, because I wanted the woman to look voluptuous, sexy, sultry, but she's asking me how I feel. That's every man's dream. A woman that really wants to know how you feel, and she's your every wish and desire. So I was going to do that. But then we did the class. And when we did the class, and I was just like, yo, what if we just do a podcast? That's literally what happened. Like the moment that we did the class, I was like, oh, this is easy. Yeah. And I know that she can knock it out. And guys, let me tell you something. First off, most of the stuff that she's saying right now is not scripted. Okay. Right. So it just comes off her head. Yeah. I had her run unscripted. I just told her what the premise was. She ran it front to back 3 times. And it was done. And she got up and left. It was out. It was just like, okay, cool. And that was professionalism at its best, but still, like, it was everything that I needed, and it's resonating in a way that I've never seen before. I think that's the other part of, I think I text you about how well, and I know that's not your world. I've been, when I was no longer working with my former institution for higher education, I've been making a living off of this content creation game. So I don't use social media
to connect with friends or to this and that. Like social media is another form of income for me. So when I look at things, I'm like, oh, how does that perform? Oh, what is that asset? Da, 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 da. Like I'm not even using like, oh, that pic, that was nice. Like, no, that was a asset that performed at this clip or blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw the, number one, I had just left your house.
Right.
I had just left your house and then went to the gym because we got done so early. I was like, I got time to go shoot. Mm-hmm. So I went straight up to the gym. What is that? The Topanga Mall or something like that? Not too far from there. Yeah, 24 Hour Fitness is on the roof. Yeah. I went straight over there and got up. But by the time I left out of there, the content was up.
Yeah.
And I parked in a 90-minute. I know because I paid to park.
Right.
It was in a 90-minute segment. Section rather. I says, and I'm looking at the DP, the colorism, the everything. Like the video was so rich. I was like, focus, what did you do? This is insane. This is amazing. And so my mentions were already going up just because of how the content was performing. And I noticed that it was linked to the Raise It Up Y page, which is amazing. That's why we're here. This is great. But I have literally 8,000% the influence on the Wyann page as I do on the Raise It Up Y page, which is why, so anyone knows, when I connect with people, I generally do it through the Raise It Up Y page because it's feasible. Like the inbox there is, I know I'll be able to, it's like it's almost like another email.
Yeah.
I can see it. Once I put up some content, if my full body is present on the Raise It Up on the Wyann page, it's all thirsty niggas in there. It's like everything gets, there's 100 messages and 100, and I'm just like, nope, I'm not looking at none of it.
Right.
I only look at the DMs on the Raise It Up Y page. But to market a piece of content, I'm like, nah, I'm like, folk, if you want to, we should maybe cross promote it with the Wyann page. Right. I really think that it can do. And did it do? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm talking about people. And what I love about your content and how you shot it, which I'm going to get into in just a second. I want to understand what we saw. People were like, number one, where is this show? Where can we see the rest of the footage? Yeah. They thought that the verse and the way that you positioned of like you said, you repurposed a song that was already out in C of at Read the PDF, which is you, Denon Porter, and Dem Joints together. Focus, Denon Porter and Dem Joints, P, D, and F. This is a song that was already out, but as we see, this content stuff is like a sizable music video. You know what I mean? So people are seeing it and they know that the song exists, so we can now drive that traffic back over there. Right. Dude, people were resonating with the word. They were watching it so much because they needed to hear everything you were saying. And some of the stuff that they were picking up in that verse, which I want you to be able to speak on however much you feel like you want to. What you were saying, a lot of men in this industry, DJ Jazzy Jeff, like these were people.
Man, when I saw that, I was like, hey.
I tripped out. All I said was, amazing, sir. We love you. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, that's DJ Jazzy, bro. What? Yeah. Like, I was tripped out. But people have been sharing it. Yeah. People have been saving it. People have been sending it, and I don't know that it has like the most viral numbers. It's not like it's a million
it's not,
views.
and that's not what I do it for.
No, and that's not what I know. But what
it touched somebody though.
It touched people. That's what it was. It wasn't the fact that it reached millions of people. It might have reached 10,000 people, but who in those 10,000 people? When I'm getting messages from key people in this industry who are like, so is this proof of concept? Are you guys doing a show now? Yeah, or I'm like, for that brain to ask that question, I'm like, folk, you might have something here, low-key. Yeah. Just saying. I don't know. But please, can you inform them about the contents of the verse? I am going to link the video.
The video. Sure. 2020 and 2021, 2022, probably the hardest years of my life. Mm-hmm. And, I've lost my mother, I've lost my father, I've lost all my matriarchs and patriarchs in the family, various friends, cousins. So to lose my son, that was a different loss. And I tanked out in 2020. And like I said, I was married. This is something I really don't speak on because, you know, I don't believe in smear campaigns and things like that, you know, so I'm always going to keep it peace. But she didn't want to be married anymore, and she moved on with her life. And so when things fell apart, they fell apart. Like, I lost everything in 2020 and 2021. So the verse plays to that. Like, I'm literally purging, and I'm like, okay, I keep saying I'm good, but I wasn't really good. So at the end of the verse, I go into, you know, like it's a venting. Like, you know, I get to the point where I'm just like, man, I'm tired of being fake. This is what it is, and that's what it is, and stop asking me questions, you know? But the way that it's framed after you guys see the video, the way that it's framed, I wanted to make sure that Wyann, being the queen that she is, but also as far as things are concerned with society, they always frame all women in this perfect frame. But then when men start getting vulnerable, when they start getting transparent, the frame gets real weird because you know, the audience doesn't know how to take it. You know, even other men don't understand how to take other men when they're being transparent. You know, I've seen Tyrese cry, I've seen Will Smith cry, and they made them memes instead of reaching out for help or praying for them or things like that. So I purposely messed up my framing. So it also plays to the fact that the record's called No Cap. I had a hat on, and it keeps getting cut off because of the framing. So a lot of the stuff, I tried to be artistic in a small amount of time, and I was super gassed about the content because she did such a fantastic job. So I just imported it in my phone, and I edited the whole thing in Video Leap and put it out. I don't play to algorithm. You know, my people.
No, you put it out at night. It was at night at a random time, and it was already catching steam. I'm telling you, when I got out of 24, I was like, it said 2 hours ago. I was like, wait, what? Like, I was so thrown.
But it's the greatest thing about the people that follow me. They follow me for that reason. I'm not playing to algorithm. I'm not playing them for an opportunity. I'm not monetizing. I'm giving them what I hope they follow me for. And at the end of the day, it's going to come as a surprise because not every day I have something to say. I don't even like talking to myself every day. Okay, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, hey guys, this is what I ate today, and this is what I'm doing today. I'm not going to do that to you, you know, and because there's so many people that push that agenda and push that self-importance, I try my best to keep all of my content positive, motivating. I let them know that, you know, I'm a person just like you, and I'm going through things just like you, and that's what this song is. That song is literally like, man, you're not the only one going through things, and I will never say my pain is more or less than yours. We're all here, and we're all going through things, and if I can be here for you, and, you know, vice versa, that's what we're supposed to be. That's humanity.
Why that's so important to me is a part of the reason why I created this space. I don't know if you know, this podcast was widely begun behind my Black male athlete honor students at my previous institution where I was teaching, who, one of them particularly, Quavo, he's been on the pod a couple times, he came up and said, Miss Y, you have to start a podcast. 3 and 4 times during fall 2018 semester. And the last time he said it, he said, it's not fair that I'm listening to the same music that my homeboys back in South Carolina on the block are listening to, but they're getting killed by it, and you're helping me understand it so that I can grow to it. It's not fair that we're listening to this, and they shouldn't have to come to California. They shouldn't have to be enrolled in this college. They shouldn't have to, just for them to get the same opportunity to gain something from music that they're going getting duffel bags to go and get your money. You know, like, they're using it for that. When I bring it to you, we're dissecting it, talking about it, and I'm growing from it. It's just not fair. It's dirt for them, but it's soil for me. And I'm like, okay, he finally said it and it convinced me. But my point being, introducing Black young men to their self-worth within the hip-hop community space is why it's why we're here in sitting in this space. It's part of how I'm teaching hip-hop music and culture at USC. They leveraged this as well as my thesis, which was on the role of rap music in Black adolescent identity formation. They found all of the things and was like, with all this, you're probably going to be great at this class. And I'm like, I think I'm going to be great too. But the idea was, I'm just saying that to say, I went to Snoop's Death Row Films institution today. His facility today is down the street from the compound and everything. But the idea is, this is in Pay Your Dues. You'll see that this is coming from Snoop's clothing line and everything. This robe I have on. But my homeboy Kiefer, who said hello, as well as the other gentleman, he was working on the cars. So I got to see all of Snoop. I'll show you the picture. All these Snoop's cars, and I'm like, this is insane. And they're gorgeous, by the way. But they're all cherried out. I told them that you were going to be on the pod today, and they were like, "Oh man, Folk is amazing." I says, "Yeah, it's the cross section. Our episode is about the cross section between where hip hop and mental health lie. These are two grown men, growner than me, and they're working on cars and films and taking stuff to different offices, and they stopped in their tracks. I just got to tell you this: they stopped in their tracks. By the way, this is Wyann looking at it. I'm standing up here." One of the gentlemen is down here working on a car, and Kiefer, the other gentleman, is right here. When I'm looking past him, Snoop was doing a lot of work with Kobe and Nipsey right before everything happened in 2019.
Right.
So I'm talking to these black men, grown men, and in the backgrounds of them, I'm seeing Kobe stuff here, Nipsey stuff here, mental health, black men, and so I says, well, yeah, I said it's based off of this piece of content, and I showed them these men took my phone and turned the volume up and were looking like, like for the whole 90, or let's just say it's 30 seconds or a minute.
So just a minute.
It's 1 minute. Yeah. For the whole 1 minute, they didn't speak. They were just like, oh shit. Like when Trey, you talk about the sun part and everything, they were like, oh shit. Yeah. Oh wow. You stopped grown men in their tracks. Forget the internet and forget social media, what it's doing. When men saw other men, and right after that, I was supposed to be there for a minute, coming in and coming out, about 15 minutes, just them needing to tell me how they felt. Happened. That happened today, the 12th of May. I'm breaking the fourth wall, the 12th of May, Monday, in 2025, watching someone own their story, no cap, watching someone own their story, even though, it might have been a piece of content, blah, 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 blah. But you were real. I was real. That moment today was real. I think, would you say that's also like the power of art?
Of course. And it's not just, I didn't do it for any other reason but to be tangible through the thing that I do well.
Damn it, yeah.
Okay, and I definitely locked in with somebody that does it just as well, if not better. You know what I'm saying? So to ask you to do it, for you to make the time, that sacrifice in itself plays into the content. You know what I'm saying? We made the time to do something like this. It was tangible. This was not, some kind of fluff piece. This was not sensationalism. This is truth. There's everything that I said can be, it can be verified. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that you're there with me, you being my sis, and us being industry brats, as we call it, and all that stuff, like we have a kinship. So no matter what, it made so much sense to do something that vulnerable with someone that I have that kind of, for lack of a better word, intimate relationship.
Of course,
you know what I'm
intimate.
saying, and it is, but it's in the family. I don't want y'all, because y'all niggas y'all start taking stuff and going to TMZ and stuff. No, anyway,
no, in real life, but intimacy, because my therapeutic side or whatever, and psychoeducation side. The definition of intimacy, she has a psychology degree, so she can check me wherever I'm wrong. Psychological mirroring. That's the definition of intimacy. Who can psychologically mirror you back to yourself. And I talked about this last episode in the Raise 'em Up segment. I differentiated, I'm gonna tell you something. I differentiated honesty, transparency, and vulnerability. And in differentiating them, I gave examples and all that stuff. That's episode 82 if anybody wants to go back and listen to it. But in that differentiation, why I felt it was really important, I felt it was a great setup for this conversation right here.
Yeah.
You don't get to intimacy without honesty. You don't get to intimacy without transparency and vulnerability, and everybody is not comfy with seeing themselves for real.
Yeah, that's the true naked. That's the true naked. So at the end of the day, when they talk about intimacy and they only talk about the one gambit of intimacy, you think that intimacy is always dealing with that part of life.
That's what I'm saying.
So the intimacy that we're talking about is that being bearing your soul.
Yes, ma'am.
Bearing your soul. You're literally being naked in front of the world, and I have no problem with that. I know I'm not perfect.
Same.
There are people on this planet that probably don't like me for things that I've done in the past. I can only apologize. I can only stand where I am now. I can't change what was, but I can change what is and what will be. And so at the end of the day, I do the best I can to show up now for everyone as the person that I wish showed up for me.
Wait. I show up now for everyone as the person I wish would have shown up for me.
Yeah.
I had to slow that down because I need that to be heard. A lot of what we end up becoming in life, if we're aware of it, I'm saying, speaks to that exact phenomenon. A lot of what we didn't get or didn't see when we're self-aware, that's what we try to become. When we're self-aware and we want to do better and we're doing the work, because it's not a fucking magic wand.
1000%.
It's not just, and I said this in the last episode, being in therapy is being in therapy. If you're not doing the work, putting pen to pad, being present, meditating, being with yourself, discovering what feeling you're feeling at what time, learning to sit with your sadness. Sometimes you buckle up your depression and you have to drive with it all fucking day. Because if you're sitting in your real raw emotion so that you can have a conversation with it and it can inform you what it's here to teach you and show you, that's how you go through grief, through heartbreak. That's how you live in life, as life, with life. Different from when all of those emotions, energetic motions, or feelings scare you. So at the moment of nervousness, at the moment of seeing some less than completely positive feeling come to your doorstep, you grab your favorite vice: women, money, hoes, and clothes, security. I'm thinking of what women grab onto: shopping, security, aka what is
a plethora of things.
What's in a man's pockets? What's this and that? You know what I'm saying? For some artists, and I'm gonna just say some and not the word a lot, but it probably could be a lot. Going to the studio and putting the stuff in your music, which is a transference of dealing with things. But it still doesn't mean that you've dealt with it. It means that you just got it off of you for a minute. But it's still not you dealing with. You sitting and being present with that thing, whatever it is, that's your education. That's your going. You know what I'm saying? People say, I'm getting over it. No, there is no over it. You go through it. You process it. Yeah. You have to go through the valleys, the peaks, the ebbs, the flows, the
I think that we still, I want to double back on something. And I don't want to discredit what you're saying, but we have to give credit where credit's due. When a creative can go someplace and unmask and be vulnerable and purge.
Yeah.
Because I did in that record that we did.
That's exactly
I purged,
right.
you know. And that record helped me. It helped my healing.
That's
you
exactly
know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's
right.
exactly
So it's
right.
like sometimes it's not going to be. You're right. It is a transference of energy, but if you're transferring energy and I'm not tanking you out. I'm telling you what I went through.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
yeah. So
some artists I've met will trauma dump on record and be like, well, I went through it, and it's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's work for you to do, not as your moniker, not as your brand. There's work for the man who is you or the woman who is you to do outside of what's happening in the studio. Your healing isn't monetizable. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it shouldn't even be on that plane. And you're right. And I love that we're talking about mental health, but understanding, you know, I'm a 70s baby, 72.
So
I
dope.
do not remember one time until 2020, 2021, when they started talking about mental health for males.
You're right.
I do not remember that being at the forefront. They, you know, I grew up in New York, and cats used to talk about, you know, if you had a therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever, you was crazy. So that was never, it was always steeped in that. It was never like, okay, that's some way to get yourself healed or cured, or, you know what I'm saying? This is how you do. It's like, yo, if you're doing that, you're nuts. Like, there's something wrong with you. No, but this we're talking about, come on,
This
man,
is
through the
decades
80s
ago.
and 90s. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
My
So
bad,
a lot of
my
those
bad.
things, a lot of people used to really, if they did go to therapy, they were doing it under the cloak of, you know, their privacy as much as possible. But now this is like, we're literally living in an age where having a therapist is brandished. You know what I'm saying? I love my therapist. Shout out to Dr. April. She is phenomenal. And, you know, I do my check-ins with her.
Yep.
And she was like, you know, the reason why you're not regularly seeing me is because you're doing the work and I see it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, you know, the biggest thing about doing work, I can't tell people I love them. And I tell my Instagram family, and I tell you guys and everybody, I love you. But if I say I love you and I don't show it, then what am I doing? So anytime I turn around and I give a message, or if I do things like that, I'm like, okay, I have to come from a loving place. I would never turn around and trauma dump. That's why I haven't put, you know, certain things in my music. And when I did, I took everything down. I'm sure a lot of my listeners realize that a lot of my albums have been taken down because there were things where, you know, I'm still human.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So I did a record about the divorce.
Okay.
And you know, I I put my whole, you know, heart into it, and I listen back, and some things just don't need to be said.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I healed from it.
Yeah.
The trauma is the trauma.
Yeah.
The pain is the pain.
Yeah.
The work is the work. And I've healed, and I'm here. So I'm like, why do I need to have this scar just floating around that it can be ripped anytime? Like, I don't like saying this about triggers. I hate that word because I think a lot of people use it too much. But unfortunately, there are things that can help you trigger the old things, going back to the vices, going back to, so it's like, why would I want to turn around and look back in the darkness? You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to turn around and put a message out there, I want people to understand that I walked through the darkness. I came through the tunnel with everything that I believe in, as, you know, at the forefront, but there was a light on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we still have to give credit to those that are doing what they feel is work, even if it's self-proclaimed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If they're talking about, well, I'm getting through it. They're being honest. They don't know what it is to have a therapist, that they really have to deal with it. Like you said, they got to go through it. If they got over it, hey, today's Monday, you got over it, there's your celebration. But tomorrow's Tuesday. And if you go into, like you said, the ebbs, and if you're going into these places, you're going to have to do your work for that day too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't turn around. Like, not everybody understands that there's a literal daily work that goes with this. You know what I'm saying? So it is, you are a necessity. You are a necessity. In real life. And I think that, you know, just the fact that we're speaking to this, because I'm sure, you know, you guys want to see more sensationalism and entertainment and things like that, but this is what you need. This is what this is what feeds the soul, and the love culture is, you know, I don't just support because this is my sister, this is my family, but I support because what she's doing needs to be championed, and it needs the backing of the entire community.
Yes, I love that. I think that's the mic drop right there.
Oh, hold on. I did that.
If you're not watching, you won't understand why that was funny. However, folk, I could talk to you like longer.
And I can sit here longer.
I'm just
No, but the thing about it is, like, we always had that relationship
forever,
and it's been like that since day one.
Forever.
And
no lies.
she has always been authentic. I've never seen Wyann show up as anything else. When I asked her to do this, she literally was like, okay, Monday's a little busy for me. I think I asked you on like Friday or Saturday. She was like, Monday's a little busy for me, but I can do Tuesday.
Yep.
And she was like, I'm gonna come from school and this and that. And it was no excuse or nothing like that. She showed up, and she showed up so authentic that the people thought it was a show. She just told you that. The people thought that this was something that
actual
this was
show.
real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know,
where's the rest of the episode was the most that was the most consistent comment at the time that I looked. They were like, hey, where's the rest of this? And I'm getting DMs.
Where
People
can I
were
see
sending
this?
it.
Yeah.
Just send me the full episode. Send me because they're thinking that it was either like a spinoff of the pot. Like they're like,
Right.
Where is the rest of the show? I'm like, folk might have something on his hands.
Yeah, but the thing about it is this: I don't want to turn around and sensationalize. I damn sure don't want to put this under. You have enough podcasts. You have enough TV. You have enough boob tube. You have enough of that. At the end of the day, we're going to give you what you need, and because of the way that you guys now feed on these things, we have to do it in spurts.
It's this podcast only comes out once a month.
Yeah. You have to do it in spurts, and you have to do it. You have to. Nobody creates the allure of, anonymity. Like, it's okay, I'm gonna sit back for a minute and then come out. Nobody does that anymore. Everybody's so in your face all the time. It's like, man, I want to miss you.
I want to miss you.
I want to miss you. Like, even in a relationship, sometimes it's like, okay, if we're not together, I want to miss you. If I'm at work all day and if I had a girl and she was at home, I'm going to miss her. If my girl, you want to miss each other, because that's when your true feelings come out. Yeah. And now we go back to transparency and you know what I'm saying? So it's such a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful cycle. I'm talking too much.
No, you are not. You are talking just.
Hold on, wait. Yeah. I had to do the voice. Yeah.
Yo, I'm. You know what? In the interest of everything we're saying, that's gonna be Focus's time, because he has to come back.
Hell yeah.
Period.
Hell yeah.
He has to come back, because every time you come to the Love Lounge, for those of you that might be new here, or if you're watching this episode because my brother is here, which I hope you are, because he's such a worthy reason to come to this podcast.
Thank you.
It's called Love Tuesdays, so for a very long time, every Tuesday we would all get together, but because I work now on Tuesday nights, we've put it to West Coast Wednesdays. So it's I kept the name Love Tuesdays on a West Coast Wednesday.
Gotcha.
Is what I've been doing, just because I teach on the Tuesday, Thursday night.
That's why I missed the last one.
Yeah, I know.
Because I turned around and was like, click, okay, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah. I started texting her. I'm like, yo, so what happened?
Like, so wait, where are we? And I was like, oh my God, brother, I'm so sorry. Like,
yeah, we already did it.
We already did it and everything. But that was also, that text is why you're here today, because
for sure
I got to ask some questions about the things. I says, do you mind if I say this on the podcast? And I'm like, wait, what are you doing Monday? Yeah. Like, can you just come? Sure. And he said, well, yeah. I'm like, Lord, thank you. I'm always so. Anyways, guys, Focus has to come back, because what I was saying was, every time he joins our live stream on Instagram on what we call Love Tuesdays on a West Coast Wednesday, or sometimes I'll open it even if it's not just exactly at that time. Yeah. And we call those just Love Lounges. Anytime you see me live on my Instagram, you are officially in a Love Lounge. So if Folk happens to pop in those conversations always are just like, because I'm sitting there, why I call this segment Get Raised is because when I have other people here kicking wisdom, I'm a student as well. I call it Get Raised because I'm getting raised. When you see, this one is Raise 'em Up. That's when I'm the OG, I'm the edutainer, and I'm here giving all the information. But when I have you, Ali Shaheed, Terrace has been on, like when I have other people on,
right,
I'm the student. Every avid educator should know when it's time to be educated.
1,000%. Well, that's every day.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, but that's every day. We should be gleaning and learning every day.
That's why I like when I get to come up there, even in the studio. I'm saying when I get to just see where your brain is or where Dre's brain is, and when you guys make certain decisions. Fred Reck, he's a fucking wealth of knowledge. Like when I see you guys in there, when I get to go watch Pooh do something for a movie or a video game, that's not even my world, like that's not my thing. But I'm just like watching him, like his brain is crazy. Like I love watching people's brains at work, but that's the social psychologist in me. That's what I love. So social scientist, I said social psychologist. I meant to say social scientist in me. I love seeing how all this works as much as you might know how a fat bass wave in Pro Tools looks, and oh wait, hold on, that needs to we could do a flanger right here. Oh, what if we slow swept it and made it do this and that in Pro Tools? How you guys know that world is how I look at people's brains based on the decisions I see them make in life.
Of course.
I'm like, ooh, I can mix and fade this person with that person, and they would be good on a panel together or something like that. Like people are my instruments, I guess. Is what I'm saying. But folk, I expect to see you back in this kitchen in a few months. I mean, in 2025, I want you back in this kitchen. I know the episode I already want you to be on. That's why I'm saying that. And I purposely made sure I did not merge the two topics. And that's why I'm cutting myself off, because the next thing I want to talk about technically would be a whole nother episode.
Got you. And with that, I'm going to get out of the chair. Okay? It's good to see everybody.
And we're going to push pause on all this. And I'll join you guys right back in a second. And I hope that you enjoyed that shit. I mean, I told you guys, I was trying to get in and out like the burger spot right here in LA that some people say they don't like. And I can understand if you don't enjoy healthy, good, West Coast, real ingredient having food that still is for a regular price, where I might go get some food after this episode because we're happening to tape early and I'm feeling so good after everything that just happened. So yeah, I think I just salivated. So In-N-Out might be in my future. That Get Raised with Focus 3 Dots is probably one of my favorite conversations that I've had on this podcast. Everybody who I've had on this podcast is quite amazing, by the way. But that was... let's get into Wyann's Words of Wisdom, yeah? Wyann's Words of Wisdom for episode 83 is actually a throwback to episode 56. And you'll understand why in just a second. But what I'm going to tell you is the last quotable that I think my students took notes on in my USC hip hop music and culture class. Don't provide people the bricks that they will throw at you later. Wyann's Words of Wisdom for episode 83 is: don't provide people the bricks to throw at you later on. Listen, this is the big problem with self-deprecation, or the way that Eminem's character in 8 Mile won his rap battle. And if you don't know that iconic scene, Eminem is battling his arch nemesis battle rapper, and in an attempt to remove all of the wind out of the battle rapper's sails, Eminem comedically and in a self-deprecating way maybe bags on himself. He rags on himself so hard with all of these dope punchlines and everything, to the point where at the end of his rap, he took all of the best disses, the disrespect, the ways that you win in a battle rap competition is you like poke fun with clever, witty bar play at your opponent on the other side of you. Eminem, he just takes it all and says everything about himself, and his last punchline is like, so what else? I've said everything. What else can you say about me, bro? And of course, the mic goes to his opponent, and then he kind of chokes and doesn't have anything to say because, like I said, Eminem had already said all the bad things about himself. That works great for 8 Mile. Let me assure you, it works great for Eminem in 8 Mile. Where that doesn't work so well, guys, is in real life when you are attempting to do anything new, when you are attempting to go spaces and big yourself up, that might be a little bit scary because it's something that you might not know that you're qualified for. I'm thinking of applying to a new job, putting yourself on a dating app, going out with a new person, trying to make a new friend, gaining and getting up the courage to see someone that you think is interesting, and not necessarily getting at them in a romantic way, but just putting yourself out there to say, yo, I saw the way that you fill in the blank, and I thought that was so cool. My name is Wyann. How often do you come here? Like I just, I'm always around this area. I'd love to, just make friends. Like adult friendship is a huge thing that I talk about on this podcast. I've definitely talked about it twice and will be talking about it again in the near future. But all of these things to say, whenever you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself in harm's way. It's a risk because you risk rejection by standing up and deciding to be greater, bigger, better, or just different from what you've always done, right? So I bring this up because in the Wyann's words of wisdom today, don't provide people the bricks that they will later on throw back at you. This is again, sort of like we did in the top of the episode, a fine tuning of the words that you use when you're speaking about yourself. If I was Don Miguel Ruiz and this were the 4 agreements, I would be talking about agreement number 1. Speak impeccably. And the word impeccably, per his definition, was without sin against yourself. Sometimes, guys, let me use myself. I'll be here on this pod and I'll think that something I'm doing is not as good, could be better. Maybe one of the ways that I look, especially when I'm getting ready and I'm trying new, things. Once you've been in front of a camera once a month for going on 7 years, you've done all the hair down. You've done all the hair down. You've done all the little updos. You've done it. You've done it, guys. Hey, if you guys don't know I'm pretty, I'm pretty. Fuck it. Like, get me? Like, and Wyann even saying that statement is an example of the opposite of what these words of wisdom are. There was a time, I don't know how far back, I'll leave that part alone, but there was a time in my history where I couldn't own my greatness. We've talked about it in previous episodes, the concept of medium greatness, right? So that somebody couldn't say, oh, she's just so full of herself. She always think that she this, she always think that she that. If I did feel really pretty in today's episode, I would say something like, well, and I got this one little piece of this and that's not going great. And, and I would start to nitpick myself. And the nitpicking of myself would be my way of handing my haters bricks. And it's one thing when I'm telling you, I think I'm pretty, but I don't like my hair right now. So da-da-da-da-da. And then I clip up this episode and a person that might not even listen to the entire episode, so they don't even know that I brought up the topic of my hair and not liking it so much, might say something like, yeah, and she thought she did that with her hair. She look a mess. Okay, it's one thing when I said it. It's a whole nother thing when you say it. I'm not going to whoop my ass. Okay, opposite day. I will. Hello? Okay. So, no, it's a joke. But the idea is without using sin to speak about Wyann and only speak, therefore, in as many neutrals or positives as I can find, it takes discipline. It takes focus. It takes watching your fucking mouth. Right? If I heard the words I planned to say about me come out of someone else's mouth, would I be ready to give them whiter wheat? Whiter wheat. For anybody that doesn't know where I used to work, we used to say, I could slap you with the front or the backhand. It's what you want, white or do you want wheat? Hello? You know, and then if you're very light skinned, all you got is like white and sourdough or like rye and Wonder Bread. Respect to all of you. Anyways, as you guys know, every episode this year, we are throwing topics back to episodes that we've covered in the almost 7 years of this podcast's existence, just to show the extent to what we've covered. And Cup of Sue, what it do on Instagram at Cup of Sue, my second and beautiful assistant back there, you know, Easy Masil or Onette Ashe. She has like 18 names, so we don't have to do this. She's back behind this right here, but the other one, the tall one, she over there. My point is, Q, Onette, nope. Q, her name is Susie. She brings up episode 56. Both of them did, but Susie is the one that brought it completely to my front door because I'm looking at what she sent in our 13 Presents chat. The idea is, guys, you live in a world that asks you more often to prove who you are rather than a world that gives you permission to be who you are. And why you don't want to give anyone any help in discrediting you with your words, which would be the bricks that people throw back at you. You don't want to give people further help discrediting who you are, which you should not have to prove in the first place, okay? Who you are and how you are, your worthiness shouldn't be up for grabs. It's not. You are, and that's enough. Just like the statement that God equates himself to, I am. What am I? I am that I am. I am the I am. The most powerful sentence in all of language. I am. That's enough. There is worthiness just in your existence, right? Unfortunately, in certain friend circles, who you are isn't enough. If you're not the one that's bringing the party, if you're not the one that's providing the vibes, if you're not the one that everybody can leech off of, then sometimes, no, who and what you are is not enough. We talked about this before, but I've seen this in the series Ballers. I know a few people who have been in the NBA and had a whole squad of friends that thought, now this is my come up. I don't have to work no more. And they live off of an individual. Like, that sad situation becomes a proving ground. Because when the money goes away, so do the friends, quote unquote. That social circle. What happens when you want to go celibate and increase your relationship with something higher than yourself, and you're in relationship with someone? Next thing you know, now the person is unable to find a way to connect with you at all because they've decided, well, if you taking the sex off the table, ta-da, I'm not here no more. So then you got to learn, oh, so that's what kept you here with me. Now, mind you, that's a tough one, by the way. But the idea is, if the relationship is what people are there for, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way, right? And I'll even say, in certain people's family, I talked about friends, I talk about romance. Now I'm talking about family. The holidays can be tough. I know we're in May, but the holidays can be tough for people simply because of the fact that they never realized that people around them who share DNA with them wanted them around for how their existence served the family, the community, being Black if you're Black, being Armenian if you're Armenian. I mean, whatever you are. How does your existence line up with the fact that we are a family that gets degrees? How does your existence line up with the fact that we are a family that gets 6-figure jobs and that's it? So if you happen to get a job that you love, that's $78K a year, and you are in heaven doing it, and then the holidays come and you get back home and now people are talking mess with you because you're not living up to whatever condition proves that you are a part of the family you were literally born into. That's like a tough situation. And you shouldn't require proof that you should be able to take up space in your friend circles, in your romantic relationships, or in your families. If you have the qualifications and you're at work, then you should be able to just be there at work. Oh, but they don't go out for drinks after, and everybody in this division goes out for drinks after. So are you really a part of the, I don't have to prove anything else to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think what was so powerful that Susie, Onette, and I looked at with episode 56's Words of Wisdom, the episode was called Permission Over Proof. And that was the Wyann's Words of Wisdom for that episode. And we talked about the fact that there are so many times where you will go a place and somebody will require your proof to be that place, as opposed to just allow you, hey man, that's great that you're here. Come on. I know it's a new bar on a different side of town, or it's a new gym and nobody here knows you, but man, come on in. Just be like how we do in love culture. When you're in a love lounge and it's a new person, it's like, man, come on in. They're like, I just stumbled in your live, but I kind of like it here. We're like, absolutely. You should like it here because it's love. Love feels good. It should feel good. Right. But, go more places where you're celebrated, man. Go more places where people buy into your magic. And if somebody is going to discredit your worth, God in heaven and on earth, don't let it be you. Right? Don't let you be one of the people that doubts your worth simply because people that share your DNA, people that are going to the same school you're going to, getting the same degree you're getting, people who work at the same position and job that you do, just because they discount or discredit you, I would just hope that your words about you and your thoughts about you always lined up to paint you gold, right? Just pink and fucking gold, So those are my Wyann's Words of Wisdom for today. And before I get up and mother love and go, I'ma keep it quiet because I don't wanna wake up Wendy in the back of this house. My boy Focus left and I am still so happy. Yeah. boom. Okay, so we are into the pay your dues section, and y'all better know. I love to do more than you knew. Ha! My beautiful cousin, Maya Smith, founder of, and master of curls, MC of The Do, THEDOUX online, is always my first pay your dues, and her Instagram is at ILOVETHEDOUX. And y'all know that my hair is down my back. I've been working out. This hair came out of a sauna and a couple workouts, so I just put it up, put a couple hair jewelry pieces in it to distract you guys. Hello. I didn't want to put heat back on this hair in real life, so just grant me all of the grace today. All right. That's the first Pay Your Dues. Pay Your Dues is the segment of this podcast where I highlight people, businesses, companies, and things I think that you all should know and support because they're just good and a part of love culture, the supporting group of people in this podcast community. We just do good for no good reason. Fuck you mean. Hello? So number 2, you guys know who it is. That sounded like Boomer almost. Y'all know who did it. No, you guys know who it is. My brother Focus at Focus 3 dots. FOCUS, the number 3 DOTS. Also, read the PDF. READTHE PDF on Instagram. P stands for Denon Porter. That's not true. Yeah, it does. Porter. D stands for Dim Joints, and F stands for Focus. So PDF. That's the 3 of them together in a group. My brother Focus, I know that you're not here. You're on your way home right now. I love you so much. I'm so thankful that you came all the way to, South LA, talk to me. No, but I'm so happy that you came all the way down here, sat in my kitchen. We did not film that piece of content where you were supposed to do a morning dance with me to your daddy's music. We will discuss that later, sir. But, an incredible episode, just an incredible talk. You're an incredible human. You gave me my flowers and I was just absorbing and receiving. In 2025, I am in a year of feminine energy that allows me to absorb and receive just the same way that my beautiful body does. And I just didn't get to reciprocate any of that amazing energy. So hopefully you're seeing this part of the pod now. And even if you're not, I'll make sure to clip this up and send it to you. I just love you. I'm thankful for everything that you've ever done to and for me. I'm thankful for all the talks that people know about and ones that we keep private between you and me. How you've helped my heart heal from stuff that we both didn't anticipate dealing with. How you've trusted me with your heart and, just different things that have gone on in your private times. In your private hours. I love you. I love you. I love you. I feel so thankful to know you. There's nobody like you. Period. There's just nobody like you. So I look forward to seeing you at our family barbecue next week. And I'll make sure to remind you. I have to text you about that actually. Number 3, outside of I Love the Do, Focus 3 dots and read the PDF. Focus 3 dots and PDF are the same. Read the PDF are the same. HARONI.arrangements at haroni.arrangements created the beautiful flowers that you see over my right shoulder, your left if you're looking on. And I happen to know the owner. Her name is right there. No. At Onette_Ashe is the power behind the brand Haroni.arrangements. And this past Sunday, which was yesterday, and when we're taping, breaking the fourth wall, for Mother's Day, she did her first pop-up shop at my favorite fucking coffee shop that is led by, in Pasadena, one of my other babies who I love so much. She's been here before, but not in front of the camera. I'm Sky Louise on Instagram. I'm coming for that ass. Just know because I wanted her to be on the episode about when she graduated. I'm like, how did she not get in front of the camera? She wasn't able to. She had, fellow 13er, June 13th. And that's the most popular birthday in love culture, by the way. Her, Mama's Teresa's, a.k.a. 6 Teddy 13, and JF Music's in London all have the same birthday, June 13th. So unless there's another day, that is the most popular birthday in love culture. Sorry, all you Virgos that try to... Y'all take over love culture literally for like that 4 weeks. It's like, but it's a real nigga birthday too. I know 7 minutes ago it was just another 8 of you's birthdays as well. Please help. So the Virgos, I love you, Keena. I love you, Goldie. I love you, Mitson. I love you, Urban. Like, no, those are just the ones I'm gonna name. I just realized if I kept going like that, I wouldn't have time. I'm done. So, mind you, this is about Hedonia arrangements. Way to take all the time, Virgos. No, it's a joke. No. So, right here, Hedonia Arrangements had her first pop-up shop at my favorite coffee shop under the tutelage of another love and graduate of mine, Sky Louise. Couldn't be more proud. Straight up. I couldn't be more proud of Onette. I couldn't be more proud of her sister Fizzy for being such a help. Even though we steal electronics from you all the time. Behind your back, too. You don't even know what I'm talking about. That's okay. All right? Don't look at this part of the episode, actually. Just fast forward. And then Sky Louise. I'm just so thankful that you were smart enough to know that there was so much worth in this chick. And so smart to continue to stay with the company long enough to see yourself become the manager so that you could put other people on. That takes dedication, hard work plus patience. Let Nipsey tell it. Also, it's the same thing that you ended up exhibiting to earn your bachelor's degree when you weren't even sure that that was something that was going to be the way that it went. I'm just so over the moon about you. You and Onette, that's a match. You guys are pretty unstoppable. So respect to Hedonia Arrangements. Number 4 in our pay your dues love culture. I want to highlight Full Circle Moments 360. Within love culture, it's a business, what's that word? Burgeoning business, whatever. Edit me smartly. What? My homeboy Quentin, cue the music on Instagram, has a business where he takes a 360 photo booth out, and he works with companies. He's worked for The Emotions. He's worked for Wyann Vaughn, my baby sister's wedding. He's done stuff with a whole bunch of people. You can go and look for yourself at Full Circle Moments 360, all spelled correctly. Click that link in bio. Please check out the amazing website that he has, and you can see all the other brands with whom he's collaborated. Keep him in mind for your next celebration. I know that he works with companies and brands more consistently, but I happen to know the owner, I'll say once again, and from a conversation that we just got to have a couple of days ago, he looks forward to, if he can, making sure that he makes some of you love's culture participants, your celebrations, your weddings, your bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, quinceañeras, weddings, hopefully not funerals, but he would make those events timeless with his company. Last and never least, number 5 is at Raise It Up Y, RAISEITUPWY, and all the love say rockets up on these hoes. Yo, on all your socials at Raise It Up Y, I don't check all of them, but it's all there. I have accounts on all these things. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for all of you. I'm so thankful for the time spent. And it's short and sweet where I'm concerned. I wanted all of the long, good listening to happen with my brother Focus, and I feel like it did. So I squeezed the regular scheduled program around, but we got in this episode what we wanted to. We focused on Focus. Tell me I'm not really... Ooh, get me to a booth. I say, yo. No. It's a joke. I love you guys. I will be seeing you all very soon on our next episode. Which hand do I normally have this on? Oh, right. Okay. My bad. As I'm getting ready to sign off, I love y'all. Stay real. Boom, cat, the bound, down, down, down. Hey, Benny down.
Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up.